Hello, beautiful Capricorn. Welcome to Starchaeology Tarot. I am Desi. I will be your Starchaeologist for this June reading, and I cannot wait to really dig deep with you here and uncover some mysteries and treasures awaiting you in the month of June 2020. Can you believe? This reading is good for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Please watch other videos for those placements for you if you're looking for a more full picture of the unique individual that you are. Also, feel free to cross-watch for a loved one. Watch the video, the reading for a loved one's sun sign or moon sign, Venus, or rising, if you're curious about what they might be going through in June and how you fit into that. Guys, I am so grateful that you are here. It means more to me than I can say. I'm really excited to deliver a message to you that will align you with your highest self, your highest path. If you have any additional intentions you want to set, please take this time to do that now as I tune in and shuffle. Let's do this, Capricorn. Bye for now. Capricorn, there is something that is there is a big journey that is over for you, and it's over for you because you have reached a real harmony in this conclusion. The thing that is over is some sort of negotiation, some sort of decision that you're making, particularly having to do with money, finances, where to live, how to exist in the world. Something that's you've kind of been weighing the options on for maybe a while, or maybe just this last month, but it has really been causing like rocky emotional waters for you, having to negotiate this, having to figure this out, and really having to weigh your options. It's been hard to weigh those options. It's been hard to tell what will serve you best and what you actually want and what also is even feasible. Whatever this negotiation has been, the journey of it is over. It's come to an end. Everything has come full circle. And the world appears not just when it's just like any ending, like a death or a destruction, which often lead to rebirth and transformation, but really an ending of complete and total fulfillment. You are, with this particular ending of this journey, however this has turned out, trust that it is in complete harmony. Everything that has been not aligned in body, mind, and heart is now completely aligned. Your conscious is aligned with your unconscious. There are subconscious desires here that are being realized with the conscious decision that was made. And also you've just kind of set yourself up for a real victory. Like, the world is at your fingertips now. This has been a very big success, this negotiation, and your hard work has paid off. Of course, there's been trials and tribulations. This has been difficult to navigate, but the journey's over, and you can now look back on it and acknowledge everything that you've achieved and really revel in your success and glory. You're amazing, Capricorn. What you've done, what you have achieved, you are truly amazing. The irony here is I think that some of you might not be feeling that way, or even acknowledging how incredible you really are, acknowledging what you really have accomplished. You can't really see your successes as clearly as everyone else can see them, because there's a part of you that wants to push for even more. What's ironic is that this card appears when there's a battle that's been lost, and the Five of Swords comes up when it's like you're still trying to fight a battle that is over, and the battle is lost, but your battle's been won. You've won the battle, and yet there are some of you, I think, that are still pushing for more. Like you think, oh, well, I got it this good. Maybe if I fight a little more, I'll get it even better. There is no getting better. There is no getting this better. The journey is over because it's time for it to be over. So don't continue to fight just because you happen to feel on top of the world right now, just because you happen to be in a place of strength. This is a time to take yourself out of the game. The journey's been completed. You've gotten what you've needed to get, and it's time for you to, what is it when you play poker? I don't know anything about gambling. You like take your chips and cash out? Someone please confirm in the comments. Is that right? It's time for you to take your chips and cash out. This especially might be coming up because what you're trying to do is actually chase a feeling. You're chasing a feeling that feels far away from you in this negotiation. Like, this negotiation is all about thinking like, well, if I have this and if I do this, then I'll feel a certain way. And that's a very backwards way of feeling fulfilled. That never creates lasting fulfillment. That never creates a cup that is actually full. Instead, what we affirm then is the chasing of that feeling by continuing to affirm that we need X, Y, Z in order to feel ABC. That feeling starts in you, which is also really beautiful that the World card is appearing here, because with this journey, you have this journey ending, you have the option to see yourself in all the glory that you really are right now. You're in a place where you can really see your life for what it is. Not swayed by ego or your desire for more, not swayed by future thinking. Really look at yourself in the present moment and see, oh my God, I have actually everything. My life is so full of abundance. And if you're able to live in that place of the world, that world energy, then you stop chasing the feeling and you just create the feeling in you. The feeling chases you rather than you chase the feeling. The feeling follows you by you setting the stage, by you deciding, I'm going to be this. And then everything follows that you thought would make you feel a certain way. You first decide how you want to feel. You first decide how you are going to feel. And then everything that gives you reason to feel that way follows by you first feeling it. It's not the other way around. But we are fooled into believing that it is the other way around. We are fooled into this. It's a very cultural, it's a cultural error. This constant search for validation and satisfaction and reward and happiness as being something outside of ourselves, something that we can only get when we check off certain boxes. You are the one who decides if you need to check off those certain boxes in order to allow yourself to feel happy, to allow yourself to feel fulfilled. Don't let a very misguided cultural belief decide that for you. It doesn't have to be that way for you. I also see this as being Knight of Cups. I see this as also being, there is something about this negotiation, about this journey ending, that may have caused something that looks as a battle lost. It may have led to a circumstance that makes you look at it, that appears to be a loss in some sort of way. You're like, well, how did I get harmony in this negotiation? How was I successful in this if I did lose something that I wanted? Without seeing that losing that thing might be actually part of this greater plan, this rebalancing, this world harmony that you need. I think for some of you, you were expecting some sort of offer in the filling of your cup, some sort of proposal, whether that be in the realm of your creative passions, like a job offer proposal or an actual love proposal, or a proposition from someone who you thought was going to ask you out or ask you to become serious with them, asking you to level up in your relationship. But this is not the loss that you think it is. And it's important that you don't succumb to that type of thinking. Seeing this as a loss, and letting that define everything about this negotiation, like this one piece. Losing this one piece, this one battle, does not mean you've lost the whole war. You can lose a battle and still win the whole war. So if you win the war, but then you're still focused on that, if you win the war, would you define yourself as being a loser? As having lost? If you lost one battle in that war? No. You'd say, I won the war. I won. It all evens out in the end, and there's a danger of thinking that all is lost because of this expectation, really, that was not met, having to do with this Knight of Cups, having to do with this offer of love or friendship, excuse me. Whoa. This offer of love or friendship, this offer of connection, this offer of closeness that you were hoping for. It might not really be actually the loss that you think it is. So I think the advice here is also don't act from that place, or else you might end up doing something that you regret. Only act from this place of wholeness, of seeing what you've been, of appreciating your success, of appreciating what you've achieved, and acknowledging that. There's nothing left to do here. There's no unfinished business here. So why are you looking for an excuse to keep the journey going, to keep fighting a battle? There's nothing, everything is complete. Everything is perfectly complete. So this is really about recognizing that this offer might not have been what you thought it was. This proposal, this connection, this might not have been what you thought it was. This also could represent a person that came into your life that you thought it was going to be something lasting, and it turns out that it's not. Getting this world card, starting the month with this world card, is almost like you seeing this person for who they really are, seeing that your expectations of the relationship were actually not aligned with the truth of the relationship. And so that's what allows this journey to come to completion. That's what allows you to sort out this negotiation once and for all. Recognizing that knight for who he or she really is allows you to shift into harmony with yourself and with the world around you. So it's really a blessing. I want to pull one more card about this outcome. Just to clarify here. Please clarify. Outcome here for the Hierophant and the Page of Swords. Verify. Capricorn. What is this about? Wow. Sorry guys, I just want to check one thing here. Gather my thoughts about this. Yeah, so what I pulled... Okay, well first I'll show you what we got here. We have the Hierophant plus the Page of Swords. So, the place where June is leaving you, with this journey ending, with this thing coming full circle, sorting out this negotiation, this thing that you've been going back and forth about, it gives you a clear-headedness, a clear-mindedness about your life moving forward. And it has something to do with broadening your education, becoming a student again. The Hierophant appears when we are expanding our education, but not necessarily even formal education. It truly can be our education, our spiritual education on earth, and progressing our spiritual path for the sake of good that is so much greater than just us. It's the sake of good much greater than ego. This also means sometimes learning from very traditional institutions, so that then we are able to turn our backs on those institutions. We learn within those institutions, and we learn how to think critically. We allow those institutions to shape us so that we have a clear understanding of the world, and therefore the right to be able to say, I agree with this institution or I don't. That is the mark of a good education. It's not someone that's just indoctrinating its students with its same beliefs, but rather teaching students how to think, not what to think. So there is something here about having the clear-mindedness to act on a new thought, a new understanding, and kind of like building a very new youthful mindset about something. This flew out when I was shuffling. It's the Knight of Swords. Interesting that we end with the Page of Swords here, which tells me that the motion after this Hierophant card is really swift. This Hierophant is this journey coming to an end is opening the gates for you to embark on a spiritual evolution that changes your life philosophies at a pretty swift pace. Without having to focus on the very worldly matters of this, like this negotiation, just like these worldly decisions, like where you're gonna live or what you're gonna do about money, this money issue that you have, or which job to take or what to do regarding your job. When you don't have this to distract you anymore, it creates all of this space for you to then be asking yourself questions that are so much bigger than just your identity as a human being playing the game here. That's when you start asking questions that are much bigger than yourself. You start asking questions about your purpose, not just in terms of the service that you provide to the world, or the achievements, the worldly achievements, the degrees, the titles that you gain. This is understanding yourself in a from a very expanded perspective, understanding where you fit into the collective consciousness and what your role is here from that perspective, not from an egoic perspective at all, not from a perspective where you're defined by what you do. You come out of June seeking to define yourself in ways beyond the very common ways that we define ourselves on Earth, which is usually number one, first and foremost, our job. But in a way, all of these ways that we define ourselves create a sort of attachment to identity that is very at odds with understanding our place spiritually. Because attachment to identity just further creates this illusion of separateness, and really we are not separate. There's a real, so many spiritual traditions and cultures show real spiritual evolution aligning with the lack of need to identify oneself, the embracing of anonymity, the embracing of being nobody, because we are both nobody and everybody. Anyway, this is leading, whatever this is, this evolution for you, it's putting you in a position where you're looking at the world from with the eyes of a student again. The Hierophant appears when when it's suggesting that you're furthering your education in some way. But so do page cards. This is like a very youthful student energy, like kind of being an apprentice in a new philosophy, just starting to learn the ways of a new kind of thinking. And it's really the fact that the Knight of Swords is here, comes right after the Page of Swords. It's a very quick progression from that to then having real confidence in this new philosophy and rushing into obstacles because you feel self-assured in this new intelligence that you have, these new opinions and this new clear-mindedness. It is possible that sometimes when we learn things that really resonate with us intellectually, we become a little bit arrogant in our beliefs, or we can become overly attached to them in a way that we're like, I just found out that this is right just because it's what resonates with us. So there is a danger here of becoming of letting this affect you in a way that kind of closes your mind off to other ways of thinking and being, without really recognizing, that person is where they are on their journey with this for a reason, and I respect that by not feeling the need to convince them of my rightness. That sometimes has to do with this Knight of Swords card. But I don't really see that as being a problem for most of you. I mean, paired with the Hierophant, there's a real spiritual understanding coming with this clear-mindedness, with this new way of thinking, which means I actually see you coming out of this journey, this having more space spiritually and more space mentally, and having more empathy for your fellow human being, having more understanding for your fellow human being, not taking things so personally, seeing things from, especially not taking this so personally, whoever this knight is for you, who, didn't meet your expectations in some way. It's like, that is happening, and that like might initially upset you and cause you to say or do things that you might regret. But if you're able to check that, then it's kind of leveling up your spiritual growth in a way that you're like, oh, you realize that this is not personal at all, and that it actually isn't even bad for you, but it's actually good for you. And you are able to see that person through a divine lens as opposed to a wounded human lens. I pulled these cards too, just to clarify those final two cards. We had the Six of Wands plus the Eight of Cups. I'm seeing in the embarking on this new education, this new learning, whatever it is that you are learning by the end of June, where you're like, wow, I am learning so much about myself and about my beliefs, I think is really what this is. You are also coming out victorious in leaving something behind that needs to be left behind. Wow, I'm actually hearing that it's an achievement for many of you. It's something that you have achieved. It is actually this victory. The thing that you are leaving behind is a victory, and it's an attachment and an identifying with a victory. Some sort of achievement. It could be even this. It could just even be this journey ending positively for you, that you are attaching to in a way that it is defining you. And when we attach too much to our highs, it's just as detrimental as attaching too hard to our lows. When we attach to our lows, we get trapped in negative mindsets, negative stories that define us and limit us. But the same thing goes for identifying with our highs, by identifying with our successes and our achievements, because then we place too much value in those successes and those achievements. And we become afraid of moving into the future because we're only thinking about it in terms of topping our last achievement. If we are able to take the highs and the lows completely level, as if neither were happening all the time, that is a real lesson in spirituality. That is a real lesson in maintaining balance and not letting our cup be filled by external circumstances, by expectations that are not met. When we put expectations on things outside of us to be what makes us happy, or to be what allows us to feel happy finally, what makes us deserving of happiness, instead of feeling it first. That's what keeps us in cycles of chasing feelings. This victory, whatever it was done perfectly. It served its time, and you can walk away from it quietly. You've been celebrated. You have celebrated, and there is no need to go out to leave this with drama, or with an announcement, or a farewell number. You can Irish goodbye this. This is a humble exit. You know what you did, and it's in the past, and that's where it stays. It doesn't define you any more than your failures define you. Wow, this is complicated, Capricorn. I really wonder what this is for you. At the bottom of the deck, I will say we have the Hermit too, which completely makes sense going with this Hierophant and Page of Swords energy. I think you come out of June still in a place of real self-reflection. I think whatever this was, this Two of Pentacles, it really was a big distraction. It was something distracting you so much that it was distracting you from being alone with yourself, which is what's really been necessary here in order for you to learn about yourself in an expanded state, to learn about yourself in a deeper level, and really to revolutionize the way that you think, some sort of philosophy, some sort of belief system that is in need of revolution. Capricorn, I'm so curious how these cards manifest in the details of of your life, how they translate into the details of your life. If you'd like to share, please feel free to in the comments. It really makes me happy to hear from you. It seems like you're doing a lot of internal work this month. A lot of very important work, and it's beautiful to get to have an opportunity to do that work from a place of wholeness. So be sure to really feel gratitude for that, and embrace the feeling of wholeness. Embrace the feeling of things coming full circle, and starting June in a place of real harmony, acknowledging the harmony that is there for you. Because having that strength, that harmony as a foundation, really sets you up to be in such a stronger place when dealing with whatever demons arise, whatever parts of your shadow arise. You're so much stronger in the face of those things, coming from a place of harmony. And I think there might be some of those things that do reveal themselves just because this is a deep dive for you. By the end of June, you're really diving deep. And you're in this position of being open-minded enough to learn again and really relearn again. Relearn how to think about certain things, including yourself. If you like this reading, please like and subscribe. Please feel free to share this channel with anyone who you think would appreciate it. Anyone who needs a little extra encouragement or love. That is why I am doing this. I am here for you. I am here to serve you. Thank you for your support. It means so much to me. I literally love you, Capricorn. Have the most beautiful June of your whole darn life.